Hello everyone, Waluigi here. Today I'm talking about a new movie, super epic Mario movie, the Mario Bros. The movie. This is the newest film from animation studio Illumination. Now, I don't go out of my way to see Illumination films. I did watch the Despicable Me films back when they came out, years ago. But when it got to the Minions, I was like, no thank you, I'm out. It just wasn't my thing, to say it respectfully. However, after seeing and reviewing the Sonic films, I needed to talk about the rival, Mario. So, in the year 2023, I tread back to the theaters to see what the Illumination films have to offer with the new Mario movie, super epic Mario movie, the movie. The thing I like about this right off the gate is that it's actually an animated film. They didn't send Mario to a real world with real people just to drive in a car like in the Sonic film. It's not like the Sonic movies. With animation, you can do more visually interesting stuff like character design, environment, and so on. And this movie does that to a degree. There is quite a bit of visual intrigue. From the beginning with Bowser attacking the penguins to the Rainbow Road scene, it was just a fun time with that aspect. There's just more you can do and accomplish being put in a world like this. Starting off with the plot, the film follows two plumbers, Mario and Luigi, as they go to a magic world and stop Bowser. As I stated, the movie just starts with Bowser getting a star from the kingdom, and then it just cuts to Mario in Brooklyn. The beginning follows Mario and Luigi as they try to be plumbers, and through it we get some humorous moments. I mean, this place was already poorly built, come on. And why with the dog? A big problem I have with this film comes from how the story flows. There's a lot about the writing that feels unnatural and rushed. One example is how they find the magical pipe to the new and exciting world. This pipe brings you to a new world with fantastical imagery, and they just so happen to stumble upon the pipe in the middle of a sewer. You know, a sewer where people probably work at? What an interesting and fantastical device that leads to a magical world, but Dave comes every day to clean shit next to it. The leading to the warp pipe could have been more whimsical and fun for the film, but we get it in a lame and unsatisfying way that's just meant to push the story forward. And when I mean rushed, I also mean that the creatives don't really flesh the Mario world out at all. Mario is in this new place and he kinda is just unfazed by what he sees and experiences. Another rushed scene was the wedding scene. It's too quick and it's over practically once it starts. There's no sense of pacing with this movie that just doesn't work for me. It's almost like they're just trying to get to the end of the movie as fast as possible without structuring the journey. One major problem that many people have been noticing with this film is Mario's ass. In the Mario games like Mario Odyssey, they gave the man a dump truck, just a thick one, and in the film, they made the ass flat. Where'd the ass go? Not staying true to the roots of the game is upsetting to me. I want ass. Anyways, going back to how rushed this film is, another part is when Mario meets Princess Peach. There's just something missing for the introduction of Princess Peach. Mario runs into her and then he's just thrown into this adventure. Now, I'm not looking for a 3-hour Lord of the Rings type introduction, but I do want more from the writing. The film throws the audience into this world that is supposed to be foreign to Mario, but it's like Mario doesn't really give a shit half the time, which leads to one of the points I'm trying to discuss with this film. Mario works as a game, and they're pretty fun games, but putting it into a movie, it becomes pretty plotless and lacks true character and story. The big thing with Mario games is the level design and the worlds that you have to go through, and the filmmakers don't even put too much time into developing the world. The Peach song felt thrown into the film randomly and isn't really good. Mario and Princess Peach form an army with the Kongs. You know, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and whatnot. But literally the next scene they get ambushed and the plan to stop Bowser fails. Good job everyone. We did it. However, the Rainbow Road scene was fun to watch, but as you can tell, I really didn't get a lot out of this film, and by the end, I just wanted to leave. Since this film is animation, there are some fun and energetic scenes, so there's that. When it came to the music though, the orchestral rendering of the original Mario songs was not great and didn't sound good to me at all. I didn't like the music usage through the whole film really. But what's worse is that there's music covers sprinkled through this whole film, which wasn't fitting at all. Like, why is Take On Me in this movie? I thought the casting was just alright. I thought Chris Pratt as Mario was just serviceable, and Chris Pratt trying to do a Mario accent at times was really funny. The whole purpose of Luigi's character was just to pretty much be like, Mario's the best, Mario save everyone, and that's it. Isn't this called the Mario Bros. Movie? Luigi barely functions as a character in this. However, if you're a fan of any Nintendo property and just want to have some fun, then you'll probably get something out of this film. However, for me, I wanted something a little more. A Mario movie could be so much more, and what we got really wasn't what I preferred, but it was fun at least. And I'm leaving this with a light 4 out of 10, really close to a 3. I saw another film in a movie theater. This one was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is the newest in the Marvel franchise. The Mickey Mouse Empire created this film. Now let's talk a little about Marvel. If you do not know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been the largest franchise for a long time. I am not really a huge fan of the Marvel films. I watched and enjoyed them up until Endgame, but after Endgame ended, Marvel has not been the same for me, and I feel like a lot of people are the same way. And it's probably because I and many others checked out after Endgame concluded. That being said, not many Marvel movies stick in my brain after a while. Some of the more recent ones that I've seen has been Shang-Chi, which I reviewed. You can watch that here. I don't remember much about that film except for the fight scene on the side of the building. That and how over the top the final fight scene was. Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever, which I remember enjoying the music and sound of that film. I remember it being a little slow, yet it tried to say something in an interesting and entertaining way, and that's about what I can remember off the top of my head. Oh, and Spider-Man Far From Home, I think. Or No Way Home. I'm confused. I get confused over how much media Marvel really has. There's just so many Marvel movies now that it's just a waste of time to even try to think and remember them. Now, when it comes to the Guardians of the Galaxy films, the first one is a film that I remember really well. I actually really enjoyed the first film. It was a visually interesting film with a bunch of fun characters and moments, but the second one I didn't enjoy as much. I don't really remember anything from the second film, to be honest, except for like the world guy, I think, the planet guy. Don't really know, don't really care. With this new film right here though, I can say that I like my time with it very much, but not without its problems, of course. After seeing this, I think it's definitely better than the second one for sure. It's a visually colorful and fun looking film that has a lot of energy throughout the whole thing. There's loads of colors and imagery that was really engaging to watch. I liked the new characters that we meet in the film, like the space dog and Adam Warlock. The first scene with Adam Warlock flying in was pretty fun. I will say the character doesn't come off threatening by his introduction, but I still thought it was a good way to set up his character. While I do have some problems with how quickly the plot starts, I did enjoy that there's no wasted time in the beginning. The movie's plot is off quickly. While I enjoyed the film, it did have problems for me personally, like I stated before. The plot and events start off pretty quickly, and I didn't really have time to care for the characters like Groot and Drax. And while this is the third film in the franchise, and these are already established characters, it still needs a level of plotting for me to care about what happens to them within the film. They both get hurt early on in the film, and I kinda really didn't care about that for a few reasons. One reason was because it felt a little manipulative. They would get hurt and the music would swell up and it would go into slow motion, and all I thought was that they weren't really hurt and that this was trying to manipulate my emotions, which felt very forced. That being said, even though some scenes felt manipulative, there's still some genuine moments that are emotionally strong and powerful. This film follows the backstory of Rocket, and it's actually very interesting. It's probably the best part of the film for me personally. Not just his backstory, but where it leads within the film was very emotional and satisfying to watch. I liked how the plot of this film was more personal, while keeping a grand theme to everything. The plot is just about saving a friend, and that was pretty cool. Another problem that I have is the movie is all over the place in tone and story. It jumps from storylines that just clash with itself. The film doesn't do that great of a job developing its villains. It just throws characters out and I had no idea who was who. On a rewatch, I'll have a better understanding of the characters' motivations, especially when it comes to the villains. And this is probably a film I would rewatch in the future. The performance of the main villain is also very over the top at times. Like, he would scream his lines and it didn't fully work for me. It really wasn't until the end of the movie where the film actually finds its footing. But when it does, I was fully on board. There's a specific fight scene near the end that I absolutely loved. It all takes place in one shot and it was very effective. All my criticisms aside, by the end I was engaged with the plot and characters and I cared about what was actually happening. I did enjoy my time for the most part and I'm giving this a light 7 out of 10, really close to a 6. That's all for this video. If you liked, then please leave a like and subscribe. I'm Thorough Churro. Bye now.